When it comes to the world of comedy, I am what you could say a connoisseur. I love anything for the most part. You could basically do anything. As long as you're funny, I'll enjoy it. Even if you're offensive, if you make it funny, I'll enjoy it. But there's a difference between being offensive and being funny, right? There is a difference. Because you can't just go out and be offensive and expect laughs and cheers. Sure, it could be funny in some circles. It could be. It could be. But for the most part, people are just gonna look at you like, okay, was that supposed to be a joke? I guarantee you, if I went onto a stage at a comedy show and just said the N word and walked off, I would probably get some laughs, maybe like one or two. But for the most part, people are gonna look at me like, the fuck was that? What the fuck? Because there is a difference. You can't just be offensive as fuck for no reason without being funny, and that's in my opinion. And you could respect my opinion because I am a bit of a comedy man myself. Oh my god, is this a double D bra? Obviously, I'm joking. I think I'm moderately funny. I don't think I'm that funny, but you know who isn't funny? This guy right here. This is William Montgomery. I guess you could say a comedian. After seeing that performance, the word comedian is used a little loosely here. I'll be honest.
This is a weird rumor, but I heard the Aaliyah plane crash happened because the pilot tried to ghost ride the whip. Walker more like Paul Crasher. I heard the reason Paul Walker died was because the director forgot to say cut. What do we have, a bunch of fucking pussy ass ball? What happens in the crowd?
When I saw this, I was like, he's the prime example of someone that thinks yelling and being offensive equal funny. I'm sorry, that's not how that works. If you're gonna be offensive, be funny. The thing is though, just being offensive doesn't make it funny. Being offensive but being clever enough to make it funny is the art of comedy. In my opinion, one of the hardest roles when it comes to entertainment is being a comedian, and especially a stand-up comedian, because you have to, one, worry about if your jokes are good, two, write material that people will find hilarious or funny, and three, have the courage to even stand up and potentially embarrass yourself. That's what, in my opinion, is one of the hardest things to do when it comes to the entertainment world. And when you put yourself out there, you are literally putting yourself into the lion's den of people that will immediately boo you and will call you shit for not being good at your job.
Sir, are you with this lady right here? Y'all two are together. How much would I have to pay you two for y'all to come back to my room after this and the Pacific Islander guy and the bitch not laughing are going to be having sex in my bathtub? What would I have to pay you to? To the Filipino girl, how much would I have to pay you for the two sisters to be fucking each other in my bathtub? How much would I have to pay your ass for that? They're sisters.
You know, and I will applaud this man for at least having the balls to perform on stage, even if it was completely dog shit and terrible. Sure, I am someone that's used the loud equal funny moments. Sure, I have, but it's usually unintentional when I do it. This man is straight up being intentionally unfunny. I guess, because like, how can you fucking just yell at people for not laughing at your jokes, and then you try being louder and louder and not be funny?
Why did Hunter Biden impregnate an Afghani refugee? Jihad a big butt. Joe Biden's so old they're gonna put his face on the Buffalo nickel. So Biden just got diagnosed with prostate cancer, and it's pretty crazy because I heard he caught it at one of P. Diddy's freak offs.
It's honestly really sad watching that performance. Why is he on stage in the first place? I'm watching it with a straight face the whole time because I don't really consider myself a snowflake. I could take a joke even at my own expense. I could take a joke and laugh about it because like I feel like I have thick skin. Like this one time, at the time I didn't think it was bullying, and now I do think it was bullying, but I honestly don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know why? So if you have never watched the movie Dory, there's a character called Gerald, and I have predominantly big eyebrows and a unibrow. And a kid in my class was like, "Hey, say Gerald and do this." I'm like, "Okay, Gerald." And unknowingly I realized, oh, these dudes are trying to make fun of me. I didn't think of it that way. I thought they were just being bros. But I actually love the name Gerald, and I love actually being compared to Gerald. I find it funny. Like it's not that big of a deal, I'm be honest. Like every single time I tell someone that story that they, oh, my nickname was Gerald because of the seal from Fighting Dory, they always give me the same response. Oh, it's so fucked up. I'm sorry. And I'm just like, I find it funny. I don't care. You call me Gerald. I don't mind. I genuinely feel that anything could be a joke for the most part. Anything could be a joke if it's done well. That's my opinion. If the joke is done well, I don't think there's really an issue with it. And I find it very cringe whenever someone makes an offensive joke that's not really that funny. And for the most part, people in the comments are being snowflakes. I'm using a quote because it's fucking stupid calling them snowflakes or anything people saying that's not a funny joke in general. And the punchline wasn't that good anyway. People start calling them snowflakes and shit. No, that's not how that works. There's a difference between finding something not funny and being a snowflake. There's a general difference in my opinion. But just because someone doesn't like your fucking racist joke that the punchline didn't land at all, or someone didn't like your fucking stupid ass bigotry without being funny, doesn't make them a snowflake. It just makes you unfunny. It makes you unfunny. You could be as offensive as you want, as long as you're a good fucking comedian. That is the art of being a comedian. Being able to turn something bad and make it where most people will enjoy it. The reason I'm saying most, because there's like that small percentage that would be like, that is offensive, you're canceled. There is that percentage. And it is what it is. But I hate it when people use the argument. People are so fucking soft nowadays. Fucking snowflakes. Back in my day, people wouldn't give a fuck or some shit like that, right? They would say some shit like that. But then you remember the literal fucking government was trying to ban violent video games that looks tame as fuck nowadays. Look at Mortal Kombat. Look what happened with that. It's as brutal as it's ever gonna be. It's as brutal as ever. If you compare it to those sprites from back in the day, that shit looks like nothing. Honestly, back then it was probably worse. I feel like nowadays it's more tame, but the reason why we see it as more people being offended is because we're all connected now. We all have access to the internet, and we're all like this now. When back in the day, the most connected you'd be is listening to the radio or watching the news on the TV and talking about it with your homies on the phone. That's the most you would hear about this kind of shit. But since we are all connected, we see all the worst people on the internet along with all the best people on the internet all in one location gathering around, so it makes it seem like everyone has that same opinion as you, when sometimes it's not that. It's more like you're in that bubble filled with people that have the same opinion as you or same opinion as anyone else. So it makes it seem like everyone's hating on it. Everyone hates it. No, it's just that we're more connected nowadays, that it seems like everyone's now bigger snowflake, when in reality, that's not the case. It's not. I feel like back then it's probably worse. It was probably worse. And I hate these arguments so much, dude. These arguments I find cringe as fuck. If you don't like a stand-up comedian because their offensive jokes aren't funny, you're seen as a snowflake. Because for some reason, when it comes to comedy, a lot of motherfuckers just go there to, be anti-woke. And, just to be anti-woke. And they just come off as annoying. They come up as annoying when their whole shtick is just, I'm offensive, so laugh. I find that honestly really fucking stupid when it comes to certain comedians, where it's just, I'm offensive, so laugh. I have a wide range of comedians that I love. A wide fucking range. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum they lean on, because they all do the same thing: make me laugh. Just because a comedian is not funny and is just offensive does not make other people a snowflake. And this guy right here was just not funny. Sure, he could be funny in other situations, perhaps, but like in this instance, he literally did things that most people, I feel, would find unfunny. The sad thing about this comedian is that his comedy set was so bad. Was so bad. It reminded me of this set.
A lot of people think I'm confident, but I'm actually just loud. Yeah. When it comes to believing in myself, I'm an atheist. Woo!
I just thought of bad comedy sets and I remembered that existed, and now I fucking hate myself more. You did this to me. You did this to me, William Montgomery. You did this to fucking me. You reminded me of this horrible set. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. I love reading my comments. I read every single one of them because nobody ever comments on my videos. If you enjoyed, let me know. See you guys next time. Bye, peace.
and I like the trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me.
Oh my god. Is this a double D bra?